What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Superman and Lois Retrospectives. This is episode 3. The title of the episode was entitled Haywire. How are we all doing today? How are we all doing?
I would be a lot better if you got the episode number right. This is episode 4.
It's episode
What?
4.
Oh, crap. Hold on. I'm going to start over.
No. Keep it in.
What did I say?
You said it was 3.
Oh. Okay, so
This episode is brought to you by friends.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 4 of Superman and Lois Retrospectives, entitled Haywire. And you know why it's called Haywire? Because
you messed up the title or the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this episode's already going haywire.
It's already going haywire, but they also had us going haywire thinking that Thaddeus Kilgrave was going to be an intimidating villain, and he just was not.
No.
It's funny because that's Stanley from
Arrow,
from Arrow, where he was more intimidating when he slit Dinah's throat. But yeah, it's neither here nor there.
That's our second Arrow character, or the Arrow actor to join the show.
Yeah,
because the coach
was an Arrow as well.
He was one of the sergeants. Yeah, and there are more that come later, which is funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more.
Yeah, that show specifically, like 5 actors carry over.
A lot of Arrowverse ones too, just like
the perks of Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, and this episode, I was really, really happy upon rewatch of this one because it just reminded me how maturely written the drama for this show can be. And they don't do what a lot of other bad either CW shows or individual seasons did, where they manufacture the drama out of nothing and then they drag it on episode by episode. They address it here throughout the episode, and you see, Clark and Lois have a loving disposition towards each other at the beginning, even with her, like giving all that like playful name calling towards them, which is really cute. But then you see, towards the end, whenever he wasn't able to be at the town hall with her, and she goes, like, I know you have an excuse. You always have an excuse. You're Superman. So she knows they're not blaming each other, but she says, it feels like I'm low on your list of priorities.
I actually love that scene. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
I
know it kind of started like in the middle there, but I just love where that kicks off to.
I think that's actually a really good place to kind of pick up, because I do think it's almost like the meat and potatoes of this episode. It is kind of the like main theme, and I think this is kind of where the start of me saying I think this specific version of Lois and Clark, and most of them are, but this specific version is one of the greatest like on-screen relationships of all time, and I think this show writes arguments better than I've ever seen a show write arguments, and the way they write drama. And I love that scene so much, where it's like, listen, I have no right to be mad at you. I have no right to be pissed at you, but I am, and I need to express that. But I also need you to know that it's not serious, and you shouldn't feel sorry about this. But I am still pissed. So like, and just being able to. It's very important for people to see that you just need to vent. Sometimes you just need to vent your feelings. Even if it's not valid, it's important just to let those feelings out. Let them know how you feel.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they're never going to fix it. They don't know what's wrong if they don't know what's happening. So I think that is so important.
And it's going to bottle up and just get worse the more you keep it in.
Yeah.
Which is what I said a lot of those shows do. They extend the drama out a lot longer than it needs to. And then when the eventual blow up happens, you're like, okay, this should have been handled like a number of episodes ago.
So, on Arrow, this would have been like episode 16.
Yeah. So if we're gonna stay in the lane of the drama, this episode let me know just how much I loved Dylan Walsh's portrayal of General Sam Lane.
So good.
But at the same time, I remember going into this thinking like, oh my God, yes, this is a more family-oriented show, but we're going to get the same old dickish Sam Lane that we always do. When he interfered when he told the boys basically, don't call Clark. Do you know how pissed I would be at my dad for telling my kids don't bring something to me?
Right.
If
You
your
saw
dad
how
gets
pissed they
distracted,
were.
yeah, like if your dad gets distracted, people die in so many words. Like, bro, they're kids. They're 15.
Yeah,
You're
I love
overstepping.
I love Clark's response to that, where he says, "You cannot tell the boys not to come to me for help. I am their dad."
I love the nuance to that conversation, because is he completely wrong? No, he isn't completely wrong, and I think there needs to be. It's one of those things where I think there needs to be a semi-conversation about it. But like, yes, in situations like this, yes, don't hesitate to call your dad about how you're feeling or of how you're doing. But also, just like in any other hero's life, if you're a firefighter or if you're a police officer, if you're in the military, there are very similar situations where it's like, okay, your dad isn't always going to be there for you because he's there for other people, and like that is a real conversation that should be had. And it's probably even better now, right now that it is out in the open, because before he just wasn't around because I was at a blank or I was doing a thing, and I feel like there's at least that openness now of like, oh well, he's gone because he's freaking saving people from a bomb or like doing blank,
Right.
And now there's not that like, does he really care about us, or is he just this deadbeat dad?
Right. They know, but it's just hard to put it to the side sometimes.
Right. And like, even imagine just the responsibility as like a child of a superhero, that like I feel like there would be that like, well, I'm not worthy for my dad's help. Like, I'm not even going to bother him because he probably has other things he has to deal with. And like, there is probably that like insecurity there that I think is very fascinating.
And I know we keep making comparisons to Arrow, but it is so much more refreshing compared to how they did the whole drama with the child there in that season, because he first he gives it up and then he lies when he's back, and it's just more drama. Kid gets involved when they shouldn't, and it feels really sloppily written at points.
Kidnapped for the 970th time, just like, all right, we're doing it again.
And technically still is, but we're not going there.
Oh no, poor William.
But yeah, I love all those conversations, and the little bit in this episode that we get between Lana and Lois, I did not expect to love as much as I did that first time, and that really kind of set the groundwork for the connection that those two would have by the end of the show, because they go through some deep stuff together.
And I love just like in general, and the show does it very well for multiple like 3 or 4 characters, but I love a good trope of like ex-turned friend in every category of Lois and Clark, but even in this episode, Lois and Lana, because they could have easily gone the bit of like, well, Lana's a bit bitter at Lois because that was her man and now it's not, like they could have done that easily.
They say that in the show later.
Thank God they don't. Thank God. Like, there's that beautiful scene where, like she's telling Lois about the first time he came back to Smallville, and it's like there was something different about it. And I realized it was you. It was you. He had met someone special, and there's not bitterness there. There's pure bliss and happiness that someone that she cherishes is happy too, and that's so good.
Yeah, I absolutely love all that stuff. I'm trying to think, what else does this episode go? I mean, we could just dive into the meat of those for like 10 more minutes, but
I actually do have and this is a not issue, but it's something that I understand a little bit more upon a proper analysis rewatch. Of course, I've rewatched Superman and Lois numerous times, waiting for previous seasons or whatever. So upon rewatching, I finally understand how the XK of it all is working and how so yes, prolonged exposure to it, being put through that whole process of having a Kryptonian consciousness put in you is different. So what happened with Tag and Jordan's ocular discharge, as they like to call it, his heat vision blasting the mines or whatever. He was exposed.
Is that
to
what they call it these days?
Yeah, he was exposed to XK, just like other people. When John was inhaling it, he was exposed to XK.
Yeah,
but he was not being put through the
machine eradicator.
Yeah, the eradicator. He was not being put through the eradicator. It was the same thing with what's his name? Glenn? No, not Glenn Powell. Through the lady's son.
Right.
Derek Powell.
Derek Powell.
I remember that.
He at first, he was a little bit exposed or whatever.
Right.
Kryptonian consciousness did not fully set in. And then after he got into the scuffle with Superman, it was indeed Derek Powell. He just could not control the powers. So prolonged exposure is what puts the Kryptonian consciousness in your body, but you can just develop powers. I feel as if that's something that hit the cutting room floor in the writer's room. And I do remember seeing a lot of confusion about that that's crazy to say back in 2021. Like,
I know.
That's crazy. Yeah. We're going into 2026. That's insane. But back in 2021, I saw a lot of confusion about that. And they're like, oh my God, how is this working? How is this working? How are some people full-blooded, like different Kryptonians, and you're not? Yeah, I remember seeing that. And I was wondering, I had many questions because I was confused at first. But upon this rewatch and me actually paying attention, it makes more sense now. It makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I love the stuff in this episode where this is often regarded as some of the I guess less impactful bits, but I love the bits in this episode between Jordan and Sarah. Where they're being normal teens at that party, and that's I feel like has been the part of the show that has been the disconnect for a lot of people.
Yeah,
was specifically Jordan, which I never really agreed with that take, because you see him do things over the course of this series that of course are not great. But he's also 16 years old. He's an impulsive kid, and the things that he do and the things that he does and the things that you would cringe at, I guess, a little bit. That's realistic for somebody of his age. So.
And I don't really say it this season. I think this is one of Jordan's best seasons personally. Yeah. I have some things I'll bring up in season 3 or maybe even season 4. But I think everything he does this season, even if it is annoying, I think is valid for his character. And I could be my shoes, I might feel the same way at age 16.
He's still coming into his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that little bit where they take, and this is something that I kind of thought about and made me reflect a little bit on, where they go, all right, we'll give him 5 minutes to see if he can,
that's a good line.
If he can act himself, if he can get a hold on himself, which as somebody who went to those gatherings and had people like that, it kind of brought back some memories.
Aww. Yeah.
The stuff between her and Jordan I always really liked. I said I've kind of said this, as the seasons went on, and I believe it even more now that we see how the show ends. But Sarah is Jordan's Lana, and
great, yes,
they really do a lot for each other's characters.
Agreed.
I'm trying to think.
I do want to bring up Tag a little bit, because I think I have brought up Tag more than any other person has ever talked about Tag. Just because he's always been in my direct connection when I talked about Justice U, when I was being pitched around. With this episode, I would always point to the ending scene here. It's he went to a school with superpowers. So I was like, okay, it all makes sense. This is all going to be an offshoot of Superman and Lois. There's this team of these government agent kids, and something goes awry, and it gets shut down, and Diggle takes them in, and he teaches them the right way, and that's Justice U. And it was always my it all connects together, guys. It all.
I remember you having this conversation a lot.
And I don't know if that was ever in the cards. I think when this line was said, it definitely wasn't. No. I do think maybe later on they could have connected it afterwards, be like, oh yes, this is what it was always leading to, blah blah blah. Yeah. Especially with John coming in. He did appear in the season, and then again in season 2. two, and then season 4. No,
he only appeared in season 1
it was
and
season
2.
2. It was season 2 with the ending. It's like, okay, there seems to be some threads there, but obviously that fell off a cliff for obvious reasons.
Yep, we'll get there.
Oh man, that's gonna be a couple more episodes, just a handful of more episodes, and we'll talk more about our boy Diggle. But yeah.
And this episode 2, like Lance kind of brought up, I was surprised, when it comes to all the stuff with like Sam and you learning that they're hiding Jordan's abilities. Considering this is a Superman and family show, I was surprised at how, just from a filming standpoint, how well shot and put together all the football stuff was. And I mean,
it's the CW All American. It was their blueprint.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I went to a lot of high school football games as a kid because I was in
Smallville too.
Like I was in that band group there that went to them all the time. So there were multiple points watching this where I again got some flashbacks, not always great ones, but I looked at it and I go, oh, this is actually really, really well put together. And you bring up a good point. Smallville did do that a number of times, especially in the early seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really trying to think. I mean, about like other big moments in the episode.
We covered majority of the big the blow up. Well, we see the dissension in the Brotherhood a little bit because the team and Coach Gaines is more welcoming to Jordan than they are Jonathan, and honestly, you get that sibling rivalry. He gets a little jealous. He gets rightfully so.
As he should. I'd be pissed.
A little bit. I mean, it's the thing he's been working for, and now Jordan's like being able to come in and easily kind of take it from him.
We also have the instances where John Henry Irons is basically said it's time to make my move. He approaches Lois. He's trying to get in her good graces or whatever because he also wants to get access to the mines or whatever. So, or did I watch ahead? No, that was this episode.
I don't remember that.
I don't think John Henry Irons was in this episode.
No,
I watched that. I watched episode 5 too. So
I was about to say, I don't think Walt Parks was in this episode.
I was about to say, I was like, did I sleep?
Was he not in this episode?
No,
I
he
don't
wasn't.
think so. There was that one scene that Lois had with Edge, where
the Edge scene was great.
Oh yeah. So
she's giving him a hard time, and she's like, "Lose the fake accent," and he goes, "My accent's real, I assure you."
No, that was funny. He said, "Lose the fake accent." He called Leslie Lar a guard dog.
Yeah.
I really like the fight scene with Kilgrave as well, because I think it really shows how much he's kind of keeping it back a little bit, like with his abilities. Like he can take down most of the people he fights, but he faces it with more of a level-headed. And then as soon as he hears his kids are in trouble, he's like, "Fuck it, bam, you're out. I'm going there. I'm gonna take him up." It happens like within seconds. It's like, oh, he could have taken him out. He's just not trying to put that much of his ability in this situation due to just. They are humans, and he's not trying to fucking destroy them.
Yeah, and that's what I love about a lot of the fight scenes here is that you can see, like, even as cool as some of the action looks, he's still trying to be careful.
Right.
Because as we see a few episodes later, we see what happens when he's not.
It helps with the budget. It definitely helps. And we're like, well, why? The whole Flash thing is like, why isn't Flash? Catching the bad guy. It's like, oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's at least a valid reason in this show why he's getting beat so much and why he's not taking out literally any threat he ever has to face.
Because with Flash, the later they not to get lost in the weeds with this, but the later that show went on, you saw that they stopped showing all the speedsters from the waist down and they just showed the tops of them. So that's how you could tell they were conserving their budget a little bit, but didn't exactly make sense. Yeah, kind of like that. And a lot of the time it didn't look great.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like XS?
Pretty much all of them.
Fast Track looked pretty bad when she appeared.
Ooh. Anyway.
I hated that. I hated Nora's just like, Dad.
I love the blooper scene where he's just like, ah!
Or when Bart was running away from the Godspeeds and he had to look tired. He was, said, dog, how are you tired already? Like, you just started running.
This is probably like a whole 1 minute blooper segment of this.
Yeah. Before we lose it and we get either end it or get fast tracked to another thing, I think this might be one of my favorite endings to a Superman and Lois episode. Yeah. I love the ending of this episode so much. Of just like Clark setting up the perfect evening, the perfect dinner, finally a time for them to sit down together. And they could have ended it there at just being, it's a nice little evening. But I kind of love that it is an imperfect evening, right? I like that it's not like, I am making time for you. It's, I still can't make time for you, but I will try my best to keep you in mind. I will try my best to try, if that makes sense. Where it's like, I can't.
They appreciate.
Yes, it's like, I can't promise I'm always going to be there, but I promise I will always try to be there. And there's a contentness to Lois where it's like, this is my life, and I love my life, and as frustrating as it is, this is more important. And I think it's such a beautiful, beautiful scene.
Yeah, I love the way that stuff is, shot just on the farm setting, just from a pure cinematography standpoint. And it just takes all the other DCCW shows, which you would assume have similar budgets, and just blows them out of the water.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but I think we hit like all the major stuff. I can't think of anything that we missed. Not to say that this episode was like any worse than the previous three, but
no. It was one of the more tamer ones in the
it's set up. I think they're building.
It's a setup episode.
Yeah.
What I will say is I loved how when General Lane first came to the farm and he was talking to Clark, talking about some, your enemies, they're gonna take notice or whatever, yada yada.
That was cool, yeah.
And then it was hilarious that Thaddeus Kilgrave basically said exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's I guess that would be my only criticism of the episode is I wish Kilgrave was a little I wish we got a little bit more out of him, because he is a cool villain and I like that actor a lot and he feels menacing, but he is kind of just there a little bit.
Very much one note, like he's a one note villain. Yeah,
a little bit. Which
would have been. Does he ever come back?
I don't think so.
That's a shame. He could have been a fun little like reoccurring villain or something. But I guess Superman doesn't really do that a lot in the show. It's kind of more like
they don't really do like villains of the week either.
Yeah, which I think it's to its benefit, but I would have liked it a little bit more, like just a couple extra here and there, just be like, hey, it's frickin' Toyman. And it's like, holy crap, just a couple more, just like sprinkle it in there would be cool.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm glad that they at least knew when to restrain themselves.
Agreed. Yeah.
Gatorade.
I agree. Just water.
Ooh.
Oh.
Just a Gatorade bottle.
Oh. But I think
Gatorade sponsorship now.
Are we sponsored by Gatorade?
Hit me up. I'll take your money.
I'll take
Pepsi. A lot of Gatorade.
I'll take Pepsi. But I think that is where we're going to wrap this episode up. Again, not a lot happened in this episode. It was more set up, and it had some amazing moments in it as a whole. But next week, episode 5 is where stuff starts to hit the fan. So yeah. Wait a minute. So what? Everything that I talked about with like the Derek Powell stuff, was that episode 5?
I think so.
Yeah.
That didn't even click until you just said that.
Yeah, no, there wasn't anything.
Oh,
it's okay.
Man.
Oh wow.
Let's talk about it again next week.
Yeah.
Chat, you didn't see anything. I mean, I hope you've seen this, but you didn't see anything. If you know what I mean.
Chat, we're not live.
Oh yeah. Commenters. I shouldn't watch 2 episodes back to back. I'll try to watch this, try to watch Power Rangers, and try to watch my regular stuff. It's too much TV. Oh, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. They're tagged in the title or in the description.
I got these 2 tagged in mine.
Yeah, I haven't decided which one I want to do yet. We all have Peacemaker videos out except Jake because he hates Peacemaker and thinks John Cena smells like fish. We'll catch you all same time, same channels next Saturday at 4 p.m. my time.
5 p.m. Eastern.
Peace out.